everybody. Welcome to Geekoholics Anonymous, episode 117. I'm your host, Rico, here with my co-host,
Mr. Dane Cody, coming at you from BC.
Mr. Dane Cody from beautiful British Columbia.
Heck
Welcome,
yeah.
everybody. Thank you for listening. If you've never been here before, we get together once a week, talk about video games, TV, movies, and or whatever the hell we like. And mostly that being video games, and all of that being geeky, awesome shit that we like to blab about, pretty much. Before we get started, we usually shoot the shit, get into some what you've been playing, then some news, our public service announcements, and of course, we have free for all, and where we talk about whatever.
The heck we like.
I don't see anything in our show notes for that section, so we ain't talking about nothing, I guess.
We talk about shit today.
But before we get to any of that, you can't be a geekaholic without being an alcoholic.
Heck yeah.
Dane,
What's up?
what are you drinking?
Dude. I'm drinking Hires root beer spiked with vodka.
Ooh, that sounds kind of yummy.
That's actually too yummy. I'm on my second one.
I'm kind of jealous. I kind of want root beer.
It is yummy.
You
You get them in the tall boy cans now. They're like almost 500 mils each.
I'm just drinking Crown Royal straight
Nice.
because I didn't bring a mixer down and I have a big ass bottle. And hey, it's pretty easy to swig out of this bottle.
Yeah. I like
it's
that.
good.
Crown's delicious. I like a good Crown. Crown
It
and
is
Coke.
delicious.
Crown and ginger. Crown by
It's
itself.
Canadian.
Now you gotta
Proudly
get to
Canadian.
track down a bottle of the Northern Harvest Rye.
Oh yeah, I haven't had
That's
that
the
one.
good stuff.
Do you still have that stuff?
I have
finished
2
it.
bottles that are unopened in the stock, and I have 1 bottle that is currently halfway through.
Is that like collector's edition now because of all the hype that it got?
No, it's just easier to find now.
Because they made a shitload because demand went through the roof.
No, I think obviously initially it got a ton of buzz because it won the best whiskey in the world the year that they introduced it, and I think that they've just continued to make it, and it's delicious, and I like it a lot. And it's not outrageously expensive, which is really nice.
Yeah, that's what you were saying when we talked about it.
Like I think
wanna say
here in
like a year
Canada
ago.
it's like $40, whereas down in the States I think I've picked it up for around 20.
Oh, jeez.
But I mean,
Maybe, yeah,
alcohol
that'll-
down there is always cheap, so you know.
Maybe that's what I'll get with my duty free on the way back.
Yeah, man.
It's not a bad idea.
Had a nice bottle of that when we were in Hawaii for our wedding.
I didn't get up to anything too exciting since last we sat down and recorded.
Disappointed in you. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, my family went away on their big ass long trip.
I know.
So I had to drop them off at the airport 5 in the morning.
Oh, you were on airport duty on your side. I was on
Yeah.
airport duty on my side.
Yeah, that's funny. You dropped my sister and her husband off, and
Yeah.
I dropped my parents off.
Yep.
Which was okay, because now I have a Range Rover that is at my disposal, so woohoo!
Nice. Range Rover Evoque for the win.
That thing is awesome.
They're nice. They're really
It's
nice.
fun to drive.
I was impressed with the way they drive. They drive.
They're re- it's
they're
really
big,
punchy.
and it's you're up in the air, but it drives like a car, and it's
Yeah, it
so
drives like a
easy to
car.
drive. I understand why a lot of women like to drive them. How's that?
It's not
'Cause they're
floaty
easy
like
to
a
drive.
big SUV, right?
No, it drives like a car. It's nice.
It goes good too.
Yeah, they go all right.
It blows my CX-5 out of the water.
Well, yeah.
But then again, one costs twice the price of the other.
Yeah. Depending on how you option that Range Rover, you might even be able to make it 3 CX-5s.
Yeah, you could actually.
I don't know about the Evoque. You can definitely option out a proper Range Rover for
those-
easily get 3 or even 4 of your CX-5s. But the Evoque, you can still get easily 2 for the price.
It's pretty cool. It's got like obviously all that fancy backup cams and push button start, but it's It's got like the full electronic transmission, which is kind of
When you
weird.
get in, it like pops up with a little dial, and you get to select which gear you want to put it in. Yeah,
it like comes out of the console like it's powered up. Another thing it does is when you come to stops, it like shuts off.
I hate that. I fucking turned that off. The first thing I did when I had one was turn it off. I hate that.
I don't know how I feel about it because it's so weird. I don't.
When my Jag was in the shop getting some work done on it, they gave me a one of the Range Rovers as a courtesy car.
Yeah.
And I every time I got in it, I would turn off the stupid start stop thing because I hated it. It was
there must be a setting to keep it off the whole time.
Unfortunately, not that I'm aware of. I was only aware that I could turn it off each time I got in it, which is really annoying.
That seems weird.
I know
it's strange because you get to a stoplight and then the car turns off.
Yeah,
and everything's still going except for the engine's off, and it like starts quite quickly. But
you put your foot on the gas and it goes away. But there is that moment where you're waiting for your engine to start again. Yeah,
I guess it's like that environmental or like emission reduction type feature. But I just feel like now you're reducing emissions, I guess, at the cost of like wearing your starter down much quicker. I don't know. I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, starting
it's one of those
your
features
engine is definitely one of the hardest things that you're going to do with your engine.
It's great for the environment, probably not great for your pocketbook in the long run.
I mean, how's that got to be on your... I mean, I guess it's not that much different than your spark plugs.
I guess they get a break because they're not running the whole time that you're stopped, but it's really weird.
I know. Maybe it feels I don't know. Maybe it's weird. A mental thing more than anything else. But
no, absolutely.
I still don't like it.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah,
the thing's fun to drive and it's fast.
Yeah, I was impressed. It was a really nice nice to roll around in it for a few days while I was waiting for my car to get fixed. So
and it pounds. It's got like a wicked sound system. I think it has like a dedicated sub.
Yeah. Did your parents option it with the Meridian that you can get in it?
Yeah. It's got the fancy sound system.
That Meridian system is pretty sweet.
It sounds good. My Snoop Dogg was bumping.
Yeah. No, we were. I mean, I think I talked about it before. We were out at the Canadian unveiling of the new Range Rover lineup this recently. So got to see all the new stuff. It was sweet. It was a lot of fun.
I'm trying to think. Did we get anything else exciting going on? Not really. Typical weekend stuff. Lots of baby stuff. Lots of going to parks. Went and checked out the new daycare, which actually is really nice compared to the two that we bailed on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Daycare is hard. Now I understand why daycare is always in the frickin' news.
Yeah, I get it. You're dealing with other people's kids. There's lots of kids.
It's expensive.
There's
not a lot of selection. And then the wait lists are so freaking long. It's ridiculous because
you have to be licensed and there's exactly.
There's not enough daycares for the demand.
I mean, I look at it and I go, I know another friend of mine was just telling me for their daughter, I think he said it was somewhere in the range of $1,250 a month, I think he said. For their daughter
that's not even the most that's not even the most expensive you can go.
Oh, I'm sure that's not.
That's not cheap. That's definitely not cheap.
Like that's depending on, what your spouse or you makes, like that's a significant chunk of cash.
Oh yeah.
Like that's why almost my entire rent, for crying out loud.
That's why some people figure it's the wife stays home if she doesn't make that much to begin with. Yeah. Or one of the parents stay home. Doesn't have to be the wife, but yeah, it's crazy.
I could definitely understand that now after he was telling me about it. I was like, oh, wow, that's... Yeesh.
And then if you can't find a daycare and you have to go to like one of the more commercialized centers that usually always do have room, those ones are like $1,500. I couldn't even imagine. That's probably what an expensive one in Vancouver is like. It's probably even more than that.
Oh, probably.
I think
they get kind of crazy. So
I think the place we just found was like 800 or 900, and it's really good. Like it feels like a kindergarten school. Like it's a really clean, nice environment. Like the chick who runs it is like super professional.
That's good. I mean, that's part of the other thing is I think I'm somebody who doesn't even want kids. Never mind the idea of like looking after other people's is terrifying, especially when they're young like that. No,
it's harder when they're young. Some people, like the 2 daycares we went to, you can tell the first one was like, I'm unemployed, or like I'm a homemaker. I do this for side cash.
Right.
Like, my environment is nowhere near professional. There's like vehicles and mechanic crap and all kinds of weird shit all over the yard, not cordoned off. Like the kids could get into it almost.
Right.
And it's like, well, I guess if we don't really have any choice, you're going back to work and this and that. And then the second one we found was better, but
still not
bad.
What you were hoping for.
Compared to terrible, it's like anything else would look better, right?
Right.
But then this one place that we finally have and are at is like, oh my god, it's like staying at a 5-star hotel compared to a 2-star or 1-star.
Sweet.
Yeah, so that's pretty exciting. Daycare. The daycare video game.
Yeah. Playin Life, the actual game.
Isn't there a game about there's a game about trying to keep a baby alive, isn't there?
Isn't it called The Sims?
No, like more.
I
think it's like a early access, and this baby like essentially is like a Roomba and just goes in a line and gets into stuff,
awful.
and you got to stop him from getting into like the chemicals and into the knives and this and that. I think I saw a clip of it on YouTube somewhere. Like it's super janky looking and crappy, but the premise sounded pretty freaking hilarious.
Fair enough.
Because literally kids are just trying to kill themselves.
Yeah, I've kind of heard that before.
Sorry, I was having
big
really
sip
big,
there.
A really big swig of my crown. So, this weekend was a wonderful thing called San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that did happen this weekend, didn't it?
We did not go.
No, I'd love to go.
I'm less excited about going to it. I used to really want to go really, 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 really bad.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe one day if the stars line, but it's not one of those things I'm going to totally go out of my way to go to.
It's funny. I kind of am in the similar boat with it. It used to, growing up, that was almost as big of a deal for me to want to go to as E3, and now I'm at a point where I feel like I've seen so much more of both of them, and I don't actually know if I really want to go to San Diego Comic-Con.
It's really expensive. It's like if I could plan a trip around being down there and I happen to get passes without having to jump through all the crazy hoops, I might go.
Right.
One of my new friends from E3 went.
Oh, nice.
Apparently it was like his 11th time or something.
Oh, wow.
He hasn't posted his photos on Facebook yet because that would be my gauge of how awesome it was. I've been waiting for that. He posts lots of photos on Facebook. He goes to like all the movie premieres in LA.
Oh, that's cool.
Like he went to the Valerian.
Oh. My wife really wants to go see that
premiere down in LA, and like he's got a photo of him and Cara Devine or whatever her stupid name is.
Oh, okay.
It's not a stupid name, but you know the main actress in that movie?
Yep.
There's a picture of him and her, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like he's got all these photos on his Facebook, all these celebrities and stuff, and I'm like, that's rad.
That's really cool, yeah.
But yeah, he goes to a lot of premieres. I guess one of the convenient things of
kind of always wondered, like, how do you get, like, does he know a guy? Like, I've always been curious, like, how do you get tickets to something?
I've
like
never
that?
actually asked him. I just look at his photos.
Like, does he have a friend that
I know
hooks
he's
him
been
up?
invited to some because he shows photos of the tickets and the passes and stuff that are like premiere and this and that, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And then other ones I think he's just addicted to going, and he's like, in some of them, you could tell he's in the crowd, right? You know, like when you see the TMZ clips of, oh, and there's Tom Hanks. Hey, Tom, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. You know,
okay. So he's not necessarily actually like getting into them necessarily.
No, he's in more than half of them.
Wow.
And then some of the ones that he actually isn't in, I'd say there's less of him not in than ones that he gets into proper. I've never asked him. Huh. He is a doctor, so.
Yeah, maybe like he's.
You know. It's not like we're best friends. We're just acquaintances. We met at E3, but
fair enough.
He seemed really cool. We're friends on Facebook now, so we're like best friends
well,
now.
Obviously, yeah, now.
But he is a doctor, too, so he might have some hookups, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Anyway, he went to Comic-Con, and I've been actually looking forward to his photos, but he hasn't posted them yet, so. What was I going to say? So, yeah, Comic-Con, crazy. One day, maybe. Not high on the list, but cool nonetheless.
Yes.
Still pretty relevant. Yes, no, I don't know. That's up for debate. People love it. It's pretty huge.
It's such a different thing than it, I think, used to be, though. It used to be about comic books and comic creators getting together and meeting with fans and all of that, and I think
they're still there.
Now it's turned into this giant Marvel shows up and they have their panels where they talk about their movies, and DC's there and they talk about their movies, and it's almost turned into more pop culture than comic
books. Definitely the Hollywood like geek culture trailer fest.
Yeah,
because as I noted in our outline, there's a new Thor trailer.
Looks amazing.
Which was amazing. Actually, the really cool thing about that Thor trailer, it was 21:9. So it was
look at you, really
Mr.
Super
it was really awesome on my ultra wide. It was really cool. It just visually, it was just stunning. I'm like, holy crap, this looks amazing. Now it makes sense why directors really like that super ultra wide angle.
I'm not
anyway,
sure how
whatever.
I feel about it yet. Like, there's a part of me that would like to.
Well, it's annoying because if the movie's shot in that, then on our displays, which are 16:9, you get the bars on top and the bottom.
Right.
Which is super annoying because when you're watching it on your big screen, it's like, why do I have bars on the top and bottom? This is annoying. Not so bad as when TVs were smaller, but still, it's annoying, right?
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to write something down here.
Oh, man, that's
Reminded
it.
me.
Stop everything. You need to write something down.
That just reminded me that I saw Skull Kong Island. Or Kong Skull Island. Whatever the hell it's called. Kong Skull Island, that's it.
There you go.
They unveiled the Ready Player One trailer.
Actually, I haven't had a chance to watch that
teaser
one yet.
trailer. Really popular book that came out not too long ago. It's super heavy with like 80s geek culture, pop culture references. Steven Spielberg. Basically, the future sucks super balls that everyone just lives in VR. It's supposed to be an amazing.
Book is amazing.
Yeah, apparently the book's amazing. It's Steven Spielberg. I'm sure it'll be cool. It looked pretty interesting. It definitely looks like a CG fest.
When was the last time
trailer.
Steven Spielberg kind of did a huge spectacle? Was that... Oh, man. Was that AI?
No.
Was that his last, like, really big spectacle movie?
No. Just do a search.
I'm just meaning from a visual perspective, right? Like, because AI was, like, insanely visually stunning. The movie was kind of but visually it was crazy. And, you know, because obviously before that, he'd done some other stuff that was, again, very visually stunning. And I was just, like, thinking, like, I feel like the last few Steven Spielberg movies haven't been kind of big, crazy visual movies. Sorry.
I'm looking at his IMDb page.
Yes.
And it's like, what is the last thing that he's just executive producer and all this shit.
Yeah, he's produced a ton of stuff. Like, I know he was attached to, was it not the Big Friendly Giant? BFG, Big Friendly Giant. for Disney, he was involved in that. I'm not sure what the last thing that he actually directed though was.
Jesus, it's been a while, because unless it's just only maybe I have to click on a different tab for his director. Yeah, here. Okay, here. Let's get out of here. Director, ready. Yeah, the BFG 2016, Bridge of Spies 2015.
Okay.
Lincoln, Warhorse.
See?
The
All
Adventures of Tintin.
Okay, that was fairly visually stunning.
A Timeless, I don't even know what the hell that is. Timeless Call. Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. Man, that was a pretty awesome movie.
Oh man, I forgot he was involved with that.
But that also had George Lucas. I blame George Lucas for that sucking balls.
But this is my point. Like, it's been a while since he's made a very visually stunning film.
Minority Report.
There you go. That was probably the last one then.
That came out after AI.
Yep.
War of the Worlds 2005. I liked War of the Worlds.
Oh, that was actually quite visually stunning. It had a lot of like funky visual stuff that he did with that.
But yeah, his working on Ready Player One and Untitled Indiana Jones project.
Yeah. After the last Indiana Jones, I'm a little less interested.
Cautiously optimistic.
Sure. Sure.
Yeah, so anyway, that book's amazing. Steven Spielberg's involved. The trailer looks pretty neat.
Right.
I don't know. It looks cool. I haven't read the book. I don't know how people who read the book feel.
Yeah, I don't know.
You read the book and you didn't have something to say, let us know.
Yeah. I've heard the book is crazy, so...
Yeah, I've heard nothing but good stuff. It's like Transformers, VR, 80s pop culture references. Like,
yeah, apparently.
Sounds like something right up my alley. Like, in the trailer, there's like the Iron Giant.
That's awesome.
That is awesome. There was a Westworld trailer for season 2. I really liked Westworld. That was cool.
I still gotta watch the first season of that.
Season 2, Stranger Things full trailer, not
that
just a
looked
teaser.
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited for that.
Oh, that looked so good. I watched that and I got goosebumps. I was very excited. We talked
about the release date for that. Yes, no? I feel like we did.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because I feel like they announced the release date with the teaser trailer that they had released.
No, I never posted a story, so we may or may not have talked about it. But yeah, it was October 27th, I think it was.
Yeah, the same day that everything comes out.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
we were totally talking about that. Not necessarily talking about Stranger Things, but the day of everything.
Yeah.
Netflix released a trailer for Bright, their first big, like, basically feature film with Will Smith. Did you end up catching that?
I want to say that I watched... That's the one where
There was a teaser. He's a cop in LA, but it's like orcs and monsters and weird shit.
It looks super weird and super up my alley.
Yeah, the full trailer. I think it looks cool. Even better than the teaser they showed. Interesting concept. I would like to see Will kick some ass in a classic blockbuster movie. Though it's not a movie per se, it's a Netflix film, which is pretty cool.
That's a movie, though. I mean,
it is a movie. It absolutely is a movie. It's just a different delivery mechanism.
Yeah, exactly.
It's crazy how much Netflix has just
exploded
shop. And then I'm sure there was like a million other trailers and comic book announcements that, well, we're not your number one source for all that. I'm just talking about some of the stuff that I liked. So,
yep.
That I caught trailer wise. It was really cool. I think there was some more Blade Runner footage.
Yeah, I'm thinking
there's some Black Panther stuff, but that was one of those, you had to be here to see it. Just like they replayed, I think, the Avengers Infinity War stuff there as well at a Marvel panel.
Which they have not released to the public
Apparently
yet.
There's been like leaks of it, and they keep just getting like copyright strike smacked down.
Yeah.
But I don't really want to see a handy cam of that
No,
trailer.
me neither.
I feel like that'll ruin it.
I feel like there was, I don't know, maybe it was Thor and Stranger Things. Those were the, I remember I came home because I was out.
Oh. Speaking of that Thor trailer,
felt like there was one other thing that I remembered watching and going like, "Holy shit!" Oh, they did a full like a fairly what was it, like 2.5 minute long Justice League trailer as well.
Oh, that's right, Justice League trailer. That's right.
Yeah,
which looks better than the first one that they showed.
Apparently, they're currently in the middle of a ton of reshoots, and it's costing them a lot of money. Like big bucks. Like apparently that was essentially shot, and now apparently they are, I heard that it might be a month of reshoots that they're doing, so, which is kind of crazy. So who knows what that will mean.
If the movie is made better because of it, then reshoot away.
Yeah,
delay the
I
freaking
mean,
movie.
seeing as who they brought in to finish that film, I trust him, and if he felt that they needed reshoots, then they needed reshoots. Joss Whedon, he has proven he knows what he's doing when it comes to big budget movies. I mean, Avengers, anybody? So yeah, so I'm cautiously optimistic about that movie. I'm really curious.
as am I. Like Wonder Woman was great, but the DC movies up to this point have been not terrible. They just haven't been Marvel level.
No.
I was trying to see if there was more Comic-Con stuff here, but I have to go way back in the freaking news. But you reminded me when you were talking about Thor. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to hear anything about Thor Ragnarok, maybe just plug your ears or turn the volume down for like a minute or two. Okay, spoiler alert. We're going to spoil some shit about Thor Ragnarok. You've been warned. What did you think of Hulk talking?
Well, I mean, it's from the comic book, so for me, I've read all those stories in the comic book. Like those are totally there. That's from World War Hulk. That's from, there's like a whole series of like multiple.
Did you like the voice? Did you were you like, oh, this is awesome?
Yeah, it didn't bother me at all.
Yeah, it didn't bother me. I thought it was wicked. I thought it was hilarious. The conversation was, the humor in the Thor really dialing that up, I think, is awesome.
Yeah, no, I like I said, I wasn't surprised by it at all because I realized that they were mixing a couple of the different comic book stories together in this whole thing.
Yeah, that's what they were saying, that they took a bunch of stuff from Planet Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. World War Hulk, Planet Hulk, all that kind of stuff. Because that's really the thing, in Planet Hulk, the comic book, like Bruce Banner doesn't show up at all.
It's Hulk the whole time.
All about Hulk, right?
The whole time, right?
Yeah, and he's somewhat normal. Like it's like he manages to sort of suppress his rage, if you will.
So he can be in Hulk mode and in full control.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a good thing. It seems like he's getting the control, the power, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it's a whole interesting thing. So
if you haven't watched it, you should watch it because it's actually a pretty funny conversation they have as well.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Okay, I'm gonna say with that, we can get into what you've been playing. I put Splatoon 2 on here, but I actually haven't played it yet.
Good job.
I put it on here as a note because I just bought it today.
Liar.
But why I bring it up is I bought it from Amazon.com.
Okay.
And I bought it digitally.
I'm listening.
Because of the Canadian dollar being a little stronger.
Yes.
And the US codes working on basically Canada and North America is considered the same marketplace, I guess. The code worked for me. And basically, it's like buying it here, but not having to pay tax.
Sweet.
So probably saved about $12, depending on the conversion.
Right.
But they don't sell the games digitally on Amazon here, or even I tried walking into, because I'm all digital, right?
Right.
And I could have bought it through the eShop here, but it would have been, $79.99 Canadian plus tax.
Yeah.
Whereas I got it for $59 American with no tax.
Right.
So
how did that work then? Did you need like an American credit card and stuff?
No, I just used my credit card.
Interesting. Not
Didn't
American.
get, the only thing that sucks about the digital is you don't get the Prime discount. Like if I bought it physically, I would have also got the 20% off. So that's kind of lame.
So doesn't that essentially pay for your taxes?
Well, no, it's still cheaper buying it in the States. I don't want it physical because I'm all digital, right?
No, I realize that. I'm just saying, like, by the time you convert 59 into Canadian, wouldn't that essentially be the same?
Yes.
The only difference being, because then with your Prime discount, you also lose the taxes, right?
Yes.
So essentially, that's what I'm saying. Is like
it would have been the same if
close.
It would have been pretty close to the same if I was buying physical, but because I'm all digital, it was just a cheaper way of buying it digitally. And
until
buying it, the US codes work.
Until Nintendo figures their shit out, man, I'm probably going to be buying my big game releases on physical.
So yeah, I ended up buying it. I like the first one enough, and I know I want to play it, and it'd be pretty cool to play it in person with people, I'm sure, while we're down at PAX. I'll have more to say next week. I like this what I played in the Splatfest demo, and I did really like the first game, which we talked about when it came out a year and a half ago, I guess now, or a year ago. I don't even know when it came out. So anyway, I decided to report.
Yeah, I'm curious.
US Switch codes work up in Canada, man.
Woo! I'm curious to get your thoughts. I'm kind of on the fence about picking it up. There's a part of me that thinks like, oh man, I should pick it up. I don't really have a ton of Switch games. Kind of gives me another reason to turn my Switch on outside of Zelda and Shantae, which I've kind of been saving for when I go away on trips. Then I just take it with me and I can play whichever one I want, which is great. But I don't know. I don't know what the chances of me playing an online, essentially an online shooter on my Switch is going to be.
Yeah, I've heard good things from people I trust, so.
Yeah.
And I like the first one, so. No,
that's fair.
Why not? I pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Okay.
And I've still been playing Fire Emblem on my 3DS. I'm like 43 hours into it now.
Wow.
I'm at the end of that fourth act, going into the fifth act.
Dang.
The difficulty has spiked a little bit.
Yeah.
Not to the point where it's like insane, but I've actually had to grind.
Okay.
My computer's like telling me to do an update. It's like, no, go away.
Maybe don't do that right now.
Yeah. Snooze button. Please don't shut down my computer.
Nah.
Okay. Nothing's happening. Good.
Whew.
What were we saying before Windows 10 decided to interrupt our podcast? Damn you, Microsoft.
You were telling me you were going to send me some money.
Fourth act. I was grinding lots. I had to grind. Because I got to a boss. It was just like, okay, I can't do any damage. And my guys are kind of getting thumped pretty bad. So it wasn't too long. I didn't have to grind too bad. And I like the gameplay, so it doesn't really make me too upset. In Fire Emblem, when you're on the overworld, maps screen moving from town to area to whatever.
Okay.
There's random respawns of enemies, so I just kept going back and forth and making them respawn and attacking them, and end up getting some really cool weapons, made some of my guys super duper powerful, which they might be OP now.
Oh.
But it's not like I grinded forever, so it
right.
was fun. So, but you know what the problem is I don't think I actually needed to grind, because the boss I couldn't beat.
Yeah.
You weren't supposed to beat him. You were just supposed to outlast him, but there was no hint anywhere.
Oh, I hate it when they do that.
That you had to just last 4 or 5 rounds and then he runs away. So for the first couple times I just tried crashing against him, sending all my guys, and he would just destroy them. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on, man. I could one shot most of the enemies on the map.
Oh wow.
With my units, but when it came to him, I'd do like 1 or 2 hit point damage, and then he'd heal all his damage. And I'm like, okay, this is just weird. And then I'm like, okay, the last time I played it, I just went all defensive and just basically huddled all my guys like in a phalanx, or however the hell you pronounce that. I had my big tough armored units in front, and all my casters and archers and everyone in the middle untouchable, and basically let them come to me, and I just kept killing all his little minions. He'd summon these like weird bat creature things, and it was just basically like a experienced treadmill. I was just blasting everything, but he would not attack me, and he wouldn't move, and it's just okay, well, whatever. I'm like,
so you just essentially have to keep killing his minions.
I just had to keep killing guys, and then eventually he's like,
or what?
No, eventually he's just like, I've had enough of this. Okay. Be gone. And he like basically takes off and like steals someone in your party.
Oh, great.
So it's
probably didn't need them anyways, right?
So that's what that was all about. But there was really no clear indication that it's like, stay alive, so that was kind of weird, because it was very frustrating the first couple times, because I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, is this that spike that people were talking about?
Right.
And when I did searches on internet, I didn't nowhere did it say that this happened.
Wow.
All the results like alluded to a fight where you fight him later on, and I'm like, this makes no sense.
Well, you probably do fight him later on, but...
Yeah, not that I regret grinding, because who cares? Now I got some awesome new units and some amazing weapons.
Right.
It's like, okay, now he's going to be the one that's going to be getting effed the next time we meet up.
Yeah. You'll show him.
And then, that's about it. I played some more PUBG.
PUBG?
That's pretty much a given. I was playing with my brother-in-law,
which was Battlegrounds for anybody out there.
Which was pretty awesome, because we had a couple good games as opposed to the last time we played, where we just felt like pylons.
Right.
We had like a 5-kill game, which was awesome. Like, we just effed up some guys. Like, I was jumping off the roofs of building to like hunt down guys. I was getting so like insane with just my murdering spree. But it was really funny, because on one of our best games, we were near the end where the circle was getting pretty tight, and we were like in one of the last buildings, and there was people inside the building. I could see them through the window, and Trevor went in one door and I went in the other. I'd say almost like at an L. He was like, east, and I would be like, say, south to him.
Right.
And there was a guy in the middle of the house. So we were both coming in at him at the same time. I could tell I was hitting him because there was blood splatter coming off of him, but I was downed.
Oh, okay.
And then Trevor ended up killing him.
Was he able to bring you back?
No, unfortunately, because the guy ended up killing me.
Useless.
Before Trevor killed him. But it's all good. Like, we're getting in that final 3 here now, and Trevor's just playing. He's by himself. I'm spectating, and he's doing all right. I think the circle closed again, and he had a little shed.
Oh, okay.
And then he was just in this shed, like spying through the windows. There's just some guy driving around in a car. I'm just going to drive in a car until I have to get out.
Right.
And there's a guy up on the hill taking pot shots at him, and then you can hear other gunfire going on, and anyway, the guy in the car eventually, when the spot got really tiny, tried going in the shed, and he opened the door, and he didn't go in, so obviously he must have figured there was someone inside the shed. He poked his head in, and Trevor panicked and just went crazy with his gun. He may have hit him, but obviously not enough to kill him. And then he's like, oh God. And then
dude just drove the car into the shed and died?
No, he ended up running out of the shed to try and kill him.
And the guy up on the
unfortunately, he ended up losing, and we came in third. So,
that's not bad though.
Yeah, if he had killed that guy, he probably would have had a good chance of winning, because we spotted the other guy that was still alive was up on the hill with not very good cover compared to where he was.
Oh, okay.
It was so funny though, because after he's like, "Oh my God," he's like, "My heart is like beating through my chest." Because that game just gets your fucking blood pumping when you're in that final, like...
Just gets you going, man.
Oh, when you're in the final minutes of that game and it's down to, like, top 5, top 3, it's just... It's butterflies and your heart's just like... It's crazy. It's literally the closest thing I can compare that feeling to is, like, when you get... when you're on the highway and the cops pull you over and your heart, like, just... That feeling you get?
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
Like, I don't know. It's just like...
For me, it's always been when I didn't know why I got pulled over, because I wasn't speeding, and like there's been a couple of times where I've been pulled over and I wasn't speeding and I wasn't doing anything wrong, and I'm like, why am I getting pulled over? Those are the ones for me where I'm like really like... Because, like, if I'm speeding, I know, okay, yeah, I'm speeding. Like, that's why they pulled me over. But yeah, there's been a couple of times where I got pulled over for no real reason other than they didn't like the cut of my jib. So,
yeah, I don't know what else to compare to. I guess maybe those other moments that you almost die in real life.
Yeah.
Those don't happen too often, but I know for a lot of people when they get pulled over by the police, like those sirens kick in out of nowhere and there's a cop on your tail.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God. And your blood gets pumping and your heart just like, like I said, maybe horror games have been the closest thing to get that same feeling. But anyway, he was just like, it sounded like he was going to fucking have a heart attack. It was so funny. And it was it's too bad. I was wanting him to win so bad because it would have been amazing. But we did good, and we had a couple of good games, which was fun.
Awesome.
I love it. We punched another guy to death, which was awesome.
You bastards.
I don't know, why would you play duos and not be with your teammate?
Maybe his teammate had died.
Not at the start. You're parachuting out of the plane. You're going down. We always aim to be near each other, especially when we see that because you can rotate the camera while you're parachuting. So you can go, oh, there's a guy over there. There's a guy over there. Okay. There's a guy landing on the building with us. Okay. Let's punch the shit out of him because he can't beat us both. It's impossible. Unless we're really bad. But yeah, that's always the best. The random teammate by himself. So you played some Destiny 2 beta.
I did.
Tell us about it. What did you play? What did you do?
I played the first mission, which I think you have to play when you essentially log into the game. Play the mission. And then I played the Strike.
Yeah.
As well. And then I went, there's not really anything else for me to do. I guess I could have played some PvP, Crucible, but I don't know. I didn't really care about the Crucible.
What did you think of the opening mission?
It's good. I'm very torn on it, to be totally honest with you. Because on one hand, it's more Destiny, but better. It's improved in some ways, which I like. Such as there's more story and the world feels more alive and that type of stuff, which makes me happy. On the other hand, it's still fucking Destiny. Like, in all honesty, if somebody gave that to me and didn't tell me that it was Destiny 2 and just said, hey man, this is some new Destiny we got coming out, what do you think? I would honestly go, yeah, shit, this is going to be a sweet expansion to Destiny. I'm hoping that obviously there's going to be, I guess the game actually comes out fairly soon on the PS4 and stuff, but yeah, I don't know. And again, like I said, it's not a bad thing necessarily, but I couldn't also help but kind of be disappointed at the same time because I kind of wanted them, I don't know. I kind of wanted them to wow me in a way that it's weird. I didn't want things to be different just for the sake of being different, I guess. But at the same time, I thought, like, man, Destiny 2, like, in my head, I was thinking about so many possibilities and so many things they could do and go with and stuff. And then when I played it, it was like, holy shit, this is fucking Destiny. Like, wow. They didn't really change anything.
No, they basically went to the gym, got buff, and did some steroids.
See, and that's the other thing. Like, I know for you, now you're playing it on your PlayStation Pro, you're on a 4K TV, and you're going like, holy fucking shit, dog, this looks incredible. And it looks slightly better than Destiny for me on a regular PS4 on my regular TV. Mm-hmm. Like, I was not blown away. Like, there's a few moments where I went like, oh, that looks pretty good. But at no point was I like, holy shit, this is fucking awesome. This looks so good. Like it just, to me, like I said, it was like a slight bump up in a few different areas, but like at no point was I like blown away by the visuals. But again, I'm not playing it on a 4K TV with a PlayStation 4 Pro.
Yeah, so. I feel like it's a pretty noticeable difference, especially having played a lot of Destiny 1 to this. So,
well, see, and here's the crazy thing. So this weekend, I played Destiny 1, and then I played Destiny 2 beta. So I had literally just been playing Destiny 1 before I started playing Destiny 2. And yeah, honestly, if somebody would have said like, hey, this is the Taken King 2 for Destiny 1, I wouldn't have even blinked if somebody told me that. And again, that's not necessarily a bad thing, because it is, I think everybody, like you and I included, wanted Destiny 2 to be more Destiny, but with more story, more life into the world. You know, like we essentially wanted that little glimpse of what Destiny could have been that we saw from, I think, the Taken King expansion pack, right? Like, we got that little glimpse of like, wow, this is kind of more what they were going with. This has the potential to be really cool. And I feel like, again, that was definitely there in the Destiny 2 beta. The first mission, you get 3/4 of the way through or halfway through or whatever. There's an area where suddenly you've got other real players that have sort of warped into your own like game, and they're helping you fight off some waves of enemies. And then as soon as that's kind of over, they kind of disappear and go back into their games, which was on one hand super cool, and on the other hand almost totally screwed me, because how did that work? I got like stuck on some of the environment, and I was trying to get to where I needed to go, but by then the situation had more or less changed, and there was a shitload of dudes that were like that had spawned in, and because I had already essentially finished that mission, there was nobody else except me that was still there. Shit got real dicey, and it almost went real bad, but I managed to get where I needed to go without actually dying. So it worked out okay. Yeah, so I don't know. Like, again, like this wasn't like something that I played and I went, holy crap, I gotta like cancel my pre-order. This is stupid.
Yeah.
But it also, I played it and I also wasn't like, oh my God, I'm so excited. It was like, wow, yeah, this is cool.
I think that's a sentiment a lot of people had after the reveal, right? Like everyone was being snarky and calling it Destiny 1.5. You know, you want to be honest, it is Destiny 1.5.
Yeah, I don't know.
So far.
And again, like this is, I mean, a tiny piece. Like we didn't even get to see
smaller.
an overworld. Like, yeah, like the first Destiny beta that we saw, we got the whole Earth area. I mean, you could run all over and you could shoot stuff. You could do a bunch of missions. There was some side missions. Like there was all of that, which they have not shown any of that stuff yet. So we really don't have any clue about what that's kind of going to look like and what, from what I understand, obviously it's,
but we haven't played it.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. So like in this, there was that first mission that you do right away. Then there was a strike that you could also go do, which I did. It was fun. It was, again, it was Destiny. Like there was two other random strangers. We jumped in, we did some shit. no real loot dropped because, of course, we're in the beta and we're all, everything's capped and everything. So I would that's fine. I would expect that. We finished it. We did little dances, and then we got warped back to the main screen,
back to orbit.
Yeah. It was fucking Destiny. I did that, and then I went, okay, cool, and then I went and played Destiny 1, because there was funny. A bunch of stuff going on right now for the, before Destiny 2 comes out.
Moment of triumph.
Yeah, exactly.
So I was record book, unlock a bunch of shit.
Exactly. I was totally doing a bunch of that stuff just because I hadn't played it in a while. I got a bunch of missions that were left. I felt like playing some Destiny before Destiny 2 kind of comes out. Plus, I felt that it had been a while since I touched Destiny 1. So I wanted to get kind of a feel for where the game was at before diving into the Destiny 2 beta, just as a good gauge to, sort of compare. So yeah.
It's definitely a much smaller slice compared to that first beta.
Yeah.
Which I think the first beta, they may have given too much.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm pretty stoked. I'm pretty excited.
No, and like I said, this was not...
That's the thing, though. It is more Destiny. And until it actually comes out, the storytelling's improved. Obviously, the campaign quality seems to be like a whole level higher than the first game. They've obviously taken a lot of the lessons they've learned and improved all that stuff.
Totally.
But yeah, to see above and beyond that, if that carries through the rest of the game, we'll just have to wait and see. It may, get people curious about the first Destiny. They were like, it didn't end up, that dropped out, may come back. But I think Destiny fans are pretty happy, and I know Destiny's been doing gangbusters for Activision, so yeah, pretty sure they're going to be okay, even if it is a Destiny 1.5.
And like I said, it's not that I'm disappointed in what I've played, but it also just didn't make me go, holy shit, I can't, holy fuck, I need to buy this for PlayStation 4 and play it a bunch and then buy it for PC again. Playing this kind of made me go like, I can wait. I can wait. I'm happy buying it for PC and just playing playing it when it comes out on PC.
I didn't play any more of the beta because I just figured I didn't want to overdo it.
I don't think there was any real reason to. I played on a different character than I normally do. My Destiny 1 character is a Titan. I played I think a Warlock. So, I don't know, maybe that also, it was a little bit different. There was a few things that I wasn't entirely sure what they did or how they worked, but for the most part, I was, like I said, it's weird. I'm super torn because there's a little part of me that's like, I felt almost disappointed because it's like, that's fucking Destiny. Like, holy shit, there's more of that. But on the other hand, I was like, fuck, this is so much better than, but it's still Destiny. You know what I mean? Like it was that weird conflict inside me where part of me wanted, I don't know, Destiny to evolve and turn into something more. And instead I feel like it kind of slid sideways a bit and like you said, they buffed it up and they gave it a car wash and made it look a little prettier and sound a little better and maybe made the mission, structure different. And it, like I said, the world definitely, that first mission, there's so much more story and the world seems so much more lifelike and the AI and the characters and it feels like the world is actually alive instead of like you're in a fucking video game like in Destiny 1. And obviously, like there's the intrigue.
Details quite higher in this one,
and also like the story, just what they're kind of implying already is more interesting. And I hope that if they actually got proper writers to write it and they have it as a cohesive story, that hopefully it will end in a decent way. Because that was definitely another part of Destiny 1 that kind of sucked balls. You finished the game and went like, wait, what? Huh? What? Yeah. So the idea of sort of getting stripped of all of your light and all of that. I mean, that's not really a spoiler. They've already said that that's happening. It's interesting. It's super interesting, and I'm really curious to see sort of where that story goes. I mean, obviously, I'm invested in the universe. I enjoyed the first game, even though we continued to joke that it was by far and away the worst game we've ever played. I still think that's valid. But, you know, Destiny, where it's sitting now versus, especially if you have all the expansions and stuff, versus where it was when it first came out is a different game. It's completely different.
Yeah.
It's so fleshed out. It's so much more of the game. I think that if they would have released what is there now in the format that it is now, I think that those initial review scores would have been quite different, to be honest.
It's quite the polished product. So.
Yeah. So, you know, so the fact that I'm getting more of that isn't necessarily a bad thing, especially because I'm going to be able to play it on PC with a keyboard and mouse. That alone, excited. I am super stoked about.
That's kind of why I didn't play too much of the beta, because I have another code, so I'll be playing the PC beta next month.
Right.
So.
Yeah, same. So yeah. So like I said, it was this weird conflicting thing, you know, like I feel like I guess the thing is like
they didn't reinvent the wheel, that's for sure.
No, but I think like take for example Titanfall 1 and Titanfall 2, like and obviously Titanfall 1 didn't have a single player game. So Titanfall 2 right off the bat, that's something huge and different. But like even the multiplayer, I was surprised at how different compared to the first game that it felt. Like there was a lot of things that were the same, but there was a lot of things that felt different, and the feel felt different, and gameplay changes that were made, and it definitely felt like a different game than the first one.
Yeah. It
didn't feel like an expansion, you know, whereas and there was even people that maybe didn't play the first game that were curious about the second one, where I would definitely be like, hell yeah, pick that up. Like it's not the same thing that the first one is.
I know where you're going with this.
Like this.
Because right now,
if you didn't like Destiny 1, I don't feel that there's anything in Destiny 2 that you're going to be like, holy shit, this changes everything. I love Destiny now.
As opposed to being an expansion, yeah, it's a new game, but really it's like just a giant expansion with better graphics.
Totally.
Until we get the real version, obviously, to see all like the patrols, the open world stuff, like all the raid, all that stuff, like the systems, how they've streamlined and add stuff, it's going to be really tough. But I don't know. I have a feeling that stuff's going to be pretty awesome.
And like I said, it's, you know, it's more Destiny, and it looks to be a lot more polished and stuff. And I get to play it on PC, so I'm still excited.
That's pretty much all you played, right?
Yeah, it was literally Destiny 1 and Destiny 2. It was a Destiny weekend for me. Ha ha.
Let's get into the news and stuff. Yeah. So, Nintendo trademark suggests the N64 Classic Edition is a thing, which we already kind of had suspicions about. Similar to the Super Nintendo. I guess so. I don't know.
I feel like the regular Nintendo and the Super Nintendo, I got those because there's a lot of people that played them. There was nostalgia there. Also, to be fair, a lot of those games hold up pretty well. Some of them not so much, but for the most part, those older 2D games hold up really well.
Beloved classics.
For sure. To be honest, not a lot of those N64 games hold up very well at all.
No. Super Mario 64 is amazing.
Sure.
Mario Kart 64 is, for better or worse, it's a good game, but yeah, it's the N64 games are pretty rough.
This is my point. Like, it was their first 3D console. Honestly, a lot of those games didn't. I don't know. I guess for me, I'm not even remotely interested in picking up a Nintendo 64 Classic. I will try and get my hands on a Super Nintendo Classic.
Oh, absolutely.
But I have honestly no interest in a Nintendo 64 Classic. Most of those games I played the shit out of growing up. But the thing is that I've also gone back to a bunch of them and realized that, damn, they do not hold up well, and I'm okay never playing them again and letting them live in my brain as these great games that I played. Because they just, so many of them just don't hold up well. I don't know.
And yeah, you got GoldenEye too, but yeah, overall,
what are the chances they're actually going to be able to get GoldenEye though? Between Activision, Rare, Microsoft, the 007 guys, yeah, right. It's never going to happen.
Yeah, not as beloved the titles that stand the test of time, that's for sure, on the 64.
Exactly.
But, you know, if they make one, I'm going to have to get one.
You will.
So
I will not.
signs point to, because this trademark, there's similar trademarks filed, I think, for the Super Nintendo or NES controllers. So
yeah, that's what it looks like.
I guess we'll find out next year when everyone's still bitching about not being able to get an NES Classic, let alone a Super Nintendo Classic, which we will speak about in a bit. Actually, we can talk about it right now. We'll do this.
Walmart canceled all of the Super Nintendo Classic pre-orders because of apparently a glitch in their system.
Yeah.
Released it early for pre-order, so everybody rushed out, crashed their system. Some people actually managed to get through, and they said they were good to go, only to have Walmart show up and say, sorry, guys. So actually, we're canceling your pre-order. And in fact, we're canceling everybody's pre-order.
They didn't cancel them all immediately.
No,
I got one. I got in on this pre-order rush on, I think it was Saturday.
Yeah, I found about it an hour after, and by far it was gone.
Long gone by then. And it was kind of weird because, to be honest, it was open for a really long time. And there's no announcement, no nothing. So it's like, I was still pretty excited because before we sat down to record, I still hadn't got my cancellation email. Right. But I did finally get it. So mine was canceled as well, with their little story about, it wasn't meant to go live and so forth. So, yeah, that was like panic attack. Everyone was like, oh man. Yes, I got one. Well, looks like
I just feel bad for everybody who got in on it. Now it's just like, sorry, you're not allowed to have that. So we're taking it back now.
I wonder, are they going to do first come, first serve in store thing? I hope not.
I don't know I mean, this has to go back up at some point.
Yeah.
Soon.
It's just scary. So they're citing a glitch. It wasn't supposed to go live, but
well, apparently they didn't have authorization from Nintendo for it to go live yet.
It doesn't.
So
doesn't bode well.
This thing comes out in September, and it hasn't even had a I don't know. This whole thing is weird.
Yeah,
I don't know if I like it. This is already not boding well at all, and this is exactly what I was hoping.
I really hope
it's turning into a worse clusterfuck than the NES Classic was. And that was a clusterfuck.
Oh, but they're making more of these, so
that's funny because more people are going to want to buy them because it's the Super Nintendo Classic.
This is true.
I mean, the Nintendo Classic, there's lots of people that wanted those, but not like this. Like even me, the Nintendo Classic, if I would have walked in a store and had one on a shelf, I probably would have bought it. Was I running around trying to find one? No. The day of release, I walked over to Best Buy and EB Games that happened to be across the street from where I live. And because I was grabbing lunch at Five Guys, and I nonchalantly wandered into both of those stores and they were like, nope, we're sold out. And I was like, cool. And that was literally the extent of my searching. With a Super Nintendo Classic, I actually want that because there's a few games that I haven't either played or games that I do want to have in my collection. And that's a great way to do it. And this is not looking great for that.
I hope they get this shit figured out. But with it being Nintendo, they probably won't.
Probably not.
On more positive news, though, Nintendo released their financials. Not going to go too crazy in depth, but man, everything's looking good in Nintendo land.
I imagine it probably is.
They beat last year, same quarter by quite a bit. They posted, what is it here? Operating profit for April to June, 11.5 billion yen, surpassing the forecast. Yeah, 16.21 billion yen.
Wow.
144 million. Which
there
is
you go.
profit, which is pretty sweet compared to a 5.3 billion yen loss last year, same quarter. And the Switch life to date systems, 4.7 million units. That's pretty impressive for something.
If they could make more, they would have sold more by now.
Yeah, 3 or 4 months ago. They're they might surpass Wii U numbers in a year.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, that's as bad as it sounds. That's not that hard.
No, but it's still
just because the Wii U numbers were so bad, right? I mean, that thing by the end of life, it barely sold 11 million units.
Yeah, the Wii U didn't sell this well at launch, that's for sure. ARMS, Mario Kart 8, 3.5 million copies sold. ARMS, 1.1 million copies. Zelda, 1.16. 3.9 million total.
Wow.
For Zelda, which is like it's getting close to almost 1-to-1.
Yeah, at one point I'd heard that they actually sold more copies of Zelda than Switches.
Yeah. Their 3DS is
that must have changed at some point.
The Fire Emblem that I'm playing is almost at 1 million copies sold.
Wow.
Amiibo doing quite well as well. 41% increase compared to the same period last year. Speaking of Amiibo, all the Smash Amiibo are out now, and of course I've got them all. No. Complete set now. It's done.
Of course.
And then the big thing, their mobile Mario Run and Fire Emblem between the two, 9 billion yen, which is like a 450% increase. Wow. Considering they didn't have any real mobile plot. Well, I guess they had Miitomo, and I don't know what else they had, but yeah, oh man. Mario Odyssey and more Pokemon games. Super Nintendo Classic. Well, Nintendo they're doing okay.
They're making it happen.
Yeah.
Which I'm not really surprised by. I mean, yeah.
So Dying Light is getting more DLC. Did you get this one? Did you play this one or no?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, me and Trevor played a shitload of this.
Another fucking zombie game.
There's like 10 new DLCs coming. This game came out in 2015. They're saying their community is still like 500,000 strong.
Wow, and that's impressive actually for a game.
I believe all this DLC is free.
I believe you're right.
There's a trailer with all the new stuff they're adding. It's pretty cool that, these guys are probably working on something new, but at the same time, they're just still supporting this game, considering the community is still so into it. It's a great game. It was the spiritual successor, sort of, to Dead Island, essentially.
Right.
It's the parkour zombie game. We liked it a lot. We had a lot of fun. That's pretty cool. I might have to get back into it because I think we're like at the very end of the campaign.
Fair enough. Should finish it off, man.
I know. We always it's like Wildlands. We're like halfway through Wildlands, but now we've been playing a lot of PUBG. Speaking of PUBG, they're getting a bunch of new cosmetic items. And they're actually having like an international tournament at Gamescom.
Interesting.
So, yeah, all the cosmetics are based on the Battle Royale movie. Would you guess?
No way.
And
I never would have thought that.
They're going to be there's going to be crates you can get. They cost $250 to open, and the proceeds will be going towards the tournament prize pool. So right now they put up like $350,000, and I guess that'll probably go up depending on how much this stuff sells. And I think this stuff comes out this week, next week, or in the next update at least. There's some interesting outfits. I don't particularly care for any of them. Maybe if I saw or was in love with the Battle Royale movie.
Right.
I'm really interested to see how this tournament's going to play out at Gamescom.
Yeah.
I will actually tune in to see if it's actual watchable or how it works out. It's going to be like
I'm super curious just
or how they
how
do
it's
it.
going to work.
It's going to be points based, I guess, depending on how you finish.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see.
Because there's so much random, like there's so much random stuff in that, like, game. Like, I don't.
And then the first person only servers are coming as well in the new patch, which dials up the hardcoreness of the game quite a bit.
Huh. Interesting.
We're kind of scraping the bottle for news right now. There is some other stuff, but I have a child that's on meltdown, so you might notice that we're just moving along a little bit here.
We're cruising along tonight. Rick's like, I got places to be and children to quiet down.
Too insane. This is a calm before the storm. We got Gamescom a couple of weeks from now, so I think stuff is.
I'm already seeing my inbox slowly.
Yeah, actually, I've been
getting more and more full every day. I've been
getting invites. I should just reply. I'm like, I'm not going, but if you want to fly me, I'll come.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like, yeah, going to Germany, not exactly that cheap. PSAs, public service announcements. August Games with Gold were announced.
Mm-hmm.
We've got Slime Rancher on Xbox One, Trials Fusion, which I already got for free. For some reason, it was free at some point for no good reason.
Because
on Xbox One. And then Bayonetta on 360, which is back compat, of course, to Xbox One.
Just sweet.
And Red Faction, which I think I got in Humble Bundle at some point.
That's isn't that the last one? Yeah, the newest one, Armageddon.
It's the newest one, which was not so well received as was it Gorilla?
Gorilla, the one before it.
Yeah. Bayonetta I'm excited about. Everything else, not so much.
I already own Bayonetta 2 places, so
yeah,
not too worried about it.
I think the Wii U version is superior to that one, isn't it? Or is it?
Yeah. The Wii U version got a lot of... it got some changes and stuff, so... And I have it.
Speaking of which, PlayStation Plus games for August were also announced.
This is pretty sweet.
Which is actually a pretty decent freaking lineup.
Yeah.
Just Cause 3. That's a
Hello.
big title.
It's pretty sweet.
Assassin's Creed Freedom Cry, which was like Season Pass DLC for Black Flag, but it is a standalone game.
Interesting.
That's cool. There's a trailer if you go to the link that'll be embedded in the podcast notes, and you can see what that Assassin's Creed game looks like. Super Motherload. No idea what that is. Snakeball, PS3. Downwell on Vita, cross-buy with PS4. Oh, that's on PS4 as well. That's cool. I like Downwell. Downwell is a cool game.
And level 22 for the Vita.
Level 22, so not bad. Just Cause 3 was on my radar. It's just one of those games I never picked up.
Here's a terrible confession. I got it given to me at Christmas, the year it came out. I installed
it. It only came out last year, didn't it? Yeah, it just came out last year.
Played it a bunch. And over the Christmas break, when I was on my brother's PS4, and then I got home and I never installed it on my own, which is terrible. To be fair, I feel like it's a game that I wanted a mouse and keyboard for, unfortunately, but people that don't have that issue like I do, it's an awesome game. It's a lot of fun. It is a giant playground. It's such a huge go anywhere, shoot everything, blow everything up, just giant playground. And to get it for free is awesome. So,
yeah, I have Just Cause 2, but I've never played it.
Oh man, Just Cause 2 was so much fun.
I got it
PC
in
and I played so much of it.
I think I got it in a Humble Bundle, but number 3 looks cool.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention at the top of the show, because we're talking about free stuff. Not that I got Wolfenstein free, but it's an old game. I'm still playing Wolfenstein.
Damn it. That reminds me I need to install it again.
That game's awesome.
I just need to finish it. I really want to finish it. Everybody's talking about it. The sequel's coming out. You're playing it again. I just need to get it installed and finish it.
Yeah, I don't know how far I'm in. Maybe a quarter, 3/4 of the way, or halfway. Me, math. My brain is somewhere else, obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Dean? You saw Spider-Man.
I did, actually.
I guess we can get our free-for-all section. Let you talk about Spider-Man, and I guess we can wrap it up.
I did. I caught Spider-Man Homecoming on the weekend.
What did you think?
It was great.
Yeah?
It was really good.
Flick.
It was... It was... They're going with... If you're a comic book fan and a comic book Spider-Man fan, they're going much, much more with the Ultimate Spider-Man sort of storyline where he's heavily attached to Tony Stark and he's kind of all like, which I'm okay with because we've seen the regular Spider-Man in the other films that they've kind of done. So this is it's kind of fresh to sort of see that different take. It is definitely he's in high school, he's Spider-Man, which is awesome. Depending on what your thoughts are on that. Some people that I've talked to were definitely, they didn't like it. They felt that he was too young. It did not bother me personally. No. I thought that the guy that they chose for Spider-Man was great. He is that young, immature Spider-Man. He's just coming into his powers. He's incredibly powerful, and you get little tastes of that, but he's not the Hulk, he's not Iron Man, he's not, he's a freaking kid that's in high school that became a superhero, and he's trying to figure out what that looks like.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
Yeah, totally, right? Which is super cool. I don't know. There's was it the Incredible Spider-Man? There's a cartoon right now.
I don't know. I haven't read any of them, so.
Well, there's actually a cartoon that's happening right now that's actually great, and it's kind of in a lot of ways reminiscent actually to this, where it's Spider-Man gets kind of recruited and he's still in high school and it's young. It's great. But anyways, no, I really liked it. I think that the Vulture, I really liked the way that they made him the villain.
That was awesome.
And it wasn't just, I'm a criminal and I want to take over the world because I'm a bad person. It was like he had depth. There was a reason why he was the way he was. And I felt that it worked really well. And yeah, there's a solid twist towards the end.
Did you see that coming? I didn't see it coming.
No, I don't think I did.
And when the twist did happen, I expected it to be something different than what it was.
Yeah, no, it was well done. It was really well done.
Sorry that we're like tiptoeing. Some people may not have seen it yet.
I definitely don't want to spoil that because I think that it's great and it's
some
important.
people might be even upset that we mentioned there was a twist.
Yeah, no, I
told you.
I really liked it. I really, really liked it.
The whole internet, the whole world told us it was good.
Yeah.
It's right up there in my like top 10. I liked it that much.
Yeah, like it's weird, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. I currently subscribe to both of his comic books, and everything, and I really liked it. I don't know what there was. I have not yet been able to put my finger on what it was. There was something though that didn't quite push me into like, holy fucking shit. Oh my God. I love this. This is incredible. This is like top 5. This is better than Deadpool kind of territory for me. Like I went in and I went like, holy shit, this is great. This might be the best version that they've ever done of Spider-Man. I really like this a lot.
Maybe it's some of that superhero fatigue on your end.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know. Or maybe like
I came out with the reaction you just said that, oh my god, this is
I know. And I honestly thought that I would, especially like the way that it starts and stuff like that. I was like, oh my god, this is hitting everything for me. I don't know. I loved the villain. He actually was one of my favorite parts. I liked the guy that played Spider-Man. I thought it was really well done.
That's a good flick. Check it out.
No, it really was. I think the internet is probably going to hate me for this, but I might have liked Andrew Garfield as a better Spider-Man, though.
Oh, don't say that.
I know.
I can't even remember those movies, so I can't compare. I'd have to watch them again.
I'm not saying that those movies, like especially the second one, like let's take the second one out of this whole thing. I think part of it was the relationship in those movies that Andrew Garfield had with, at the time it was his girlfriend, and that chemistry was super awesome on screen. I think that went a long way to pulling me into the story and caring about both of them really hard. Whereas in this,
so what
Spider-Man,
you're saying is you were missing the love interest in this movie.
No, I don't think that's what was it. You know what I think it was? Is that I think the Spider-Man in this was almost a little bit too young for me to fully connect with. Like, he was close enough to me in age, but he was that like generation below me that there was just some stuff that just didn't quite work for me that I don't know how to explain it.
I'm a high schooler trapped in a man's body, or a 12-year-old, so I related quite well.
Yeah, but don't get me wrong, I loved it. It was great, and I'm super glad I saw it. Glad I saw it in the theater. And if you are interested in seeing it, go see it, because it is great.
It's my favorite movie of the year so far.
So,
with that, Dane, I'm going to say we have a show.
Yeah,
I have a baby on meltdown, and I unfortunately have to bounce.
You got to do that daddy stuff.
Yeah, sorry, peeps. This hasn't happened before, but hey, kids, they're crazy.
You roll with the punches.
Yeah, I don't feel fair leaving my wife having to deal with it. You can follow me on Twitter at RickF, no K, RICF.
You can come hang with me on Twitter at Dane Cody, at DAYNECODY.
Yeah, make sure to follow, subscribe to Geekoholics on all the sources, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and of course, leave a review on iTunes or any services that allow podcast reviewing. Helps us find new listeners. And of course, thanks everyone for lending us your ear. And
absolutely.
Until next week, I'm going to say we are out.
Catch you guys later.
Peace.